contrast to their
snowflakes fall, the night is bright. Children playing pure delight. Candles glowing warm and mild. Every face reflects a smile. Bells on high, a joyful ring. Choirs of angels softly sing. Stars above, they shimmer gleam. Magic true in every dream. Gifts wrapped up beneath the tree. Hearts unwrapped with love so free. Fireplace embers softly glow. Feel the warmth as spirits grow. Bells on high, a joyful ring. Choirs of angels softly sing. Stars above, they shimmer gleam. Magic true in every dream. Silent night holds silent wishes. Kisses sweet and tender swishes underneath the mistletoe. Time moves gently, let it flow. Bells.
5 wickets, while Scott Boland's disciplined lines suffocated the batters. The duo dismantled India's lower order, highlighting a glaring lack of resilience. Starting the day at 128 for 5, India capitulated within an hour, managing only 175. Nitish Kumar Reddy's 42 was the sole highlight, but he lacked support. Cummins' use of the short ball, coupled with Stark's accuracy, ensured the collapse. Chasing 19, a mere formality. Australia's openers, Usman Khawaja and Nathan McSweeney, ensured a clinical chase, achieving the target without losing a wicket. The brief but commanding innings reflected Australia's dominance throughout the match. The Australians showcased tactical discipline, adapting to changing conditions and exploiting India's weaknesses. Cummins' captaincy was spot on, evident in his use of bowlers and field placements. India's inexperience with the pink ball, highlighted by inconsistent batting and bowling under lights, played a crucial role. The absence of a proper warm-up game compounded their woes. The decision to persist with Harshit Rana over Jadeja raised eyebrows. Rana's lack of control with the ball and ineffectiveness with the bat added little value. Bumrah's limited overs and Siraj's predictability under lights left gaps that Head exploited. Dropped catches and misfields added to the pressure on bowlers. The verbal altercations between Siraj and Head, as well as the fallout from the Perth victory, may have shifted India's focus from the basics. Australia, by contrast, left their Perth defeat behind, starting afresh. India must reconsider their batting approach. Shuffling the order or bringing in a more technically adept player like Hanuma Vihari might stabilize the innings. Jadeja's inclusion could lend control and variety, especially on a surface like Brisbane's. India also needs to evaluate Akashdeep and Prasidh Krishna as potential pace options. Returning to basics, focusing on adaptability on lights, and mitigating external distractions will be key for the Indian camp. Australia's win underlines their mastery in pink ball cricket. Their bowling arsenal, headlined by Stark, Cummins and Boland, remains unmatched in these conditions. India's record in pink ball tests continues to be a concern. Addressing their shortcomings in preparation, execution and adaptability is imperative if they hope to compete in similar conditions. Cummins credited his bowlers and heads counter-attack for shifting momentum, highlighting their preparation and execution under lights. Rohit acknowledged Australia's superiority, citing missed opportunities and the need for introspection ahead of Brisbane. Head emphasized the clarity of his approach against the second new ball, attributing his success to Cummins's confidence in him. India's 10-wicket defeat in Adelaide was not merely a loss, but a wake-up call. The team's inability to adapt, coupled with Australia's clinical execution, widened the gap between the sides. With 3 tests remaining, India has the talent and time to bounce back. However, their response in Brisbane will determine whether they can recover or succumb to Australia's dominance in the series. Why did India's world-class bowling fail in Adelaide? Chapter 1. Failure to exploit the pink ball. The pink ball, known for its exaggerated swing and seam movement under lights, offered conditions that should have played into the hands of India's bowlers. However, they failed to capitalize. Indian bowlers alternated between being too short and too full, allowing Australian batsmen like Travis Head to settle and counter-attack. Bowlers, particularly Mohammad Siraj, leaned heavily on the short-pitched strategy, which became predictable and ineffective as the Australians adjusted. Bowling with the pink ball requires precision, especially in the twilight phase where movement is at its peak. India's inability to adjust their lines and lengths to leverage these conditions was a significant factor in their underperformance. Chapter 2. Lack of penetration in key moments. India's pace attack started promisingly, with early breakthroughs on day 1. However, they couldn't maintain pressure. Despite reducing Australia to 3 for 50, India let Head off the hook, allowing him to score a counter-attacking 140. Defensive field placements and erratic bowling gave Head the freedom to dominate. The bowlers failed to make an impact with the second new ball, a phase where Cummins and Stark later proved devastating. The inability to clean up the Australian tail has been a recurring issue for India. In this match, Pat Cummins and Mitchell Stark added valuable runs, further widening the gap between the teams. Chapter 3. Selection issues and resource mismanagement. India's bowling unit in Adelaide lacked balance. Jadeja's ability to provide control, both as a bowler and a batter, would have added much-needed variety and reduced the load on the pacers. The decision to field Harshit Rana, who lacked the experience and skill set to exploit Adelaide's conditions, backfired. He struggled to maintain consistency, leaking runs without creating pressure. Despite being India's most experienced bowler, Bumrah bowled only 1 over in the second innings. His reduced workload under lights, where he could have been most effective, raised eyebrows. While Siraj is a capable bowler, he was overburdened and lacked the support to complement his efforts. Chapter 4. Execution and mental approach. The hallmark of India's bowling success has been their discipline, which was noticeably absent in Adelaide. Indian bowlers bowled too many deliveries outside the off-stump, allowing batsmen to leave comfortably. Overpitched deliveries and half-trackers gave Australian batters easy scoring opportunities. India's dominance in Perth may have contributed to a lapse in intensity. The bowlers lacked the sharpness and aggression that characterized their earlier performances. Chapter 5. Tactical failures and leadership gaps. Rohit Sharma's captaincy compounded India's bowling woes. Defensive field placements. When Travis Head began counter-attacking, Sharma persisted with conventional field placements instead of plugging scoring areas. Delayed bowling changes. Timely changes in bowling could have disrupted the Australian batsman's rhythm, but Sharma often delayed adjustments. Bowling success often depends on coordinated efforts. but India's bowlers operated in silos. There seemed to be little synergy between pacers and spinners, and their plans appeared disjointed. Chapter 6. Australia's masterful counterattack. Australia's batters, particularly Travis Head and Marnus Labuschagne, identified and exploited India's erratic lines and lengths. Head's aggression. By attacking India's bowlers early, Head forced them to alter their lengths, creating opportunities to score freely. Tailenders' contributions. Cummins and Stark's counterattacks demoralized the Indian bowlers, who seemed unprepared for resistance from the lower order. Australian bowlers later demonstrated how to bowl effectively under lights, exposing India's failure to replicate precision. Chapter 7. Lessons and the way forward. India must invest in domestic pink ball tournaments and preparatory matches to familiarize their bowlers with the unique challenges of day-night cricket. Greater use of variations. Indian bowlers need to diversify their tactics, employing slower balls, yorkers, and bouncers more strategically. Field placement innovations. Defensive field placements would give way to aggressive wicket-taking setups, particularly when new batters arrive at the crease. India's team management must prioritize form and suitability for conditions over seniority or reputation. Balanced 11, including bowlers like Jadeja, who can control the run rate and contribute with the bat, is essential. Rotating pace option, Prasidh Krishna and Akash Deep could be explored to provide fresh energy and perspective. India's bowling failure in Adelaide stemmed from a combination of strategic errors, execution lapses, and poor team management. While the conditions favoured bowlers, India's inability to adapt, coupled with defensive captaincy and questionable team selection, proved costly. Moving forward, India must reassess their approach to pink ball cricket, prioritise discipline and adaptability, and embrace a more ruthless mindset in selection and tactics. Only then can they regain their dominance and restore the faith of fans in their world-class bowling attack. Rohit Sharma, one of the most celebrated Indian cricketers, is under scrutiny following India's 10-wicket defeat in Adelaide. His leadership in this match has been called into question, with many arguing that his captaincy, more than any other factor, cost India the game. This report explores the theme of Sharma's lack of vision and proactiveness, his apparent inability to motivate the team, and the broader implications of his current mental and strategic state on India's performance. Sharma's inability to adapt to the dynamic conditions of a pink ball test was glaring. Despite knowing Australia's dominance in this format, his strategies were reactive rather than proactive. For instance, when Travis Head began his counter-attack, Sharma maintained conventional fields instead of implementing defensive measures to plug gaps. Sharma failed to utilise Ravindra Jadeja, a proven performer, and instead relied on Harshit Rana, whose inclusion seemed unjustified given his lack of control and effectiveness. Sharma appeared to lack a long-term vision for the match. Unlike Pat Cummins, who orchestrated a clinical performance by aligning his bowlers with the game's phases, Sharma's strategy seemed improvised and short-sighted. India's body language under Sharma was visibly lackluster. The players seemed disengaged, which is particularly troubling in a high-stakes game. This lack of enthusiasm may reflect Sharma's inability to galvanize his team. While India showed bursts of intensity, there was no sustained pressure from the team as a unit. The much-publicized Siraj Head verbal spat showed a team that was more reactive than strategic, with Sharma failing to calm the situation and refocus his players. Sharma's personal performance failed to inspire. As captain, his own failure with the bat, just 6 runs in the second innings, set a poor precedent. A leader who struggles to deliver in critical moments risks losing the respect and confidence of his team. Sharma's decision to persist with Harshit Rana over Jadeja, who could have brought control and variation, puzzled analysts and fans alike. His reluctance to shuffle the batting order despite consistent collapses demonstrated a lack of flexibility. Sharma's handling of his bowlers under lights was ineffective. While Cummins expertly rotated his quicks and set aggressive fields, Sharma appeared to follow a formulaic approach. Bumrah bowled only 1 over in the second innings, despite being India's most experienced bowler. Siraj's predictable short ball strategy lacked variety, yet Sharma failed to intervene or recalibrate the approach. Several observers noted that Sharma's demeanor suggested he was mentally disengaged. Whether it was the burden of captaincy or personal issues, his decisions and overall presence did not exude confidence or control. Sharma was slow to capitalize on moments when Australia was on the back foot, such as after early breakthroughs on day 1. His communication with players seemed minimal, and he often appeared passive in the face of mounting challenges. There is a growing sentiment that Sharma might benefit from a break to regain his focus and form. A team's performance often mirrors its captain's energy. Under Sharma, the Indian team lacked cohesion, with players appearing to operate in silos rather than as a cohesive unit. The absence of clear direction from Sharma seemed to affect the players' confidence. This was evident in their hesitant shot selection, sloppy fielding, and inconsistent bowling spells. Cummins outshone Sharma in every facet of leadership. Aggressive yet calculated field placements, precise utilization of bowlers under lights, and inspiring performances with both ball and captaincy. Sharma could take cues from Cummins' ability to balance personal performance with team management. Cummins' proactive strategies and motivational presence were in stark contrast to Sharma's passive approach. India must consider giving Sharma a break, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for rejuvenation. This break could allow him to reflect on his leadership style, address any personal or mental health concerns, and return with a fresh perspective and renewed energy. While Sharma rests, India could experiment with other leadership options, KL Rahul or Ravichandran Ashwin, experienced players who could bring a fresh approach, or Hardik Pandya for limited overs, a proven leader in IPL with a tactical mind. India needs to prioritize players based on performance rather than seniority, emphasize adaptability in conditions like pink ball tests, and reinstate a culture of accountability and unity under a reinvigorated leadership. Rohit Sharma's lack of vision, inability to motivate his team, and poor decision-making significantly contributed to India's defeat in Adelaide. His current state suggests a leader struggling to connect with his team and the game's demands. While Sharma remains one of India's finest cricketers, his captaincy in this match raised questions that merit serious reflection. Giving him a rest, coupled with a broader strategic reset, could set India on the path to revival as they prepare for Brisbane and beyond.
In Adelaide, I witnessed a moment that encapsulated the emotional rollercoaster of cricket. Mohammad Siraj, known for his fiery spirit, lost his cool against Travis Head after the batter's explosive century. Instead of recalibrating, Siraj let frustration take the wheel, engaging in a verbal spat that only fueled Australia's momentum. This wasn't just a tactical blunder, it was a mental slip. Siraj's erratic lines and over-reliance on short balls allowed Head to dominate. He missed crucial opportunities and lacked a plan B when his initial strategy faltered. Aggression is vital for a fast bowler, but it must be tempered with discipline. Siraj needs to channel that fire into execution, focusing on consistent lines and lengths. By letting the ball do the talking and avoiding unnecessary confrontations, he can regain his composure. Cricket is as much a mental game as it is about skill, and if Siraj learns this lesson, he can reclaim his place as a key player in India's bowling attack.
The miracle India needs. Can they defy the odds in Adelaide? Day 2 of the second test between India and Australia concluded with the visitors teetering on the edge of a significant defeat. But as history has shown us, Test cricket is as much about resilience and miracles as it is about skill and strategy. India's current position may look bleak, but the story isn't over yet. The path to a miraculous recovery is fraught with challenges, yet not impossible. Let's delve into the factors that have brought India to this crossroads and explore how they might script an extraordinary turnaround. Setting the stage where it went wrong. India started the test match with high hopes after a resounding win in the first game of the series. However, the toss, conditions, and key moments have not gone their way. Opting to bat first on a pitch that offered assistance to bowlers under lights with the pink ball was a decision that raised eyebrows. The gamble backfired as India was bundled out for a subpar first innings total of 180. The decision to bat first appeared to have been made with the hope of avoiding the twilight phase, but the execution fell short of expectations. Top order struggles. India's top order batters failed to provide the foundation required to counter Australia's potent bowling attack. The dismissals of key players like Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill and Virat Kohli underscored technical flaws and a lack of temperament to withstand the moving ball under challenging conditions. Bowling discipline. While Mohammad Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah showed glimpses of brilliance, including Siraj's dismissal of the dangerous Travis Head and other tailenders, India lacked the sustained discipline needed to stifle Australia's scoring. Australia capitalised on loose deliveries and erratic spells, building a first innings lead of 157, a daunting figure in the context of a pink ball test. The Australian batting, led by a swashbuckling Travis Head and a steady Marnus Labuschagne, exposed India's inability to capitalise on moments. Head's century, 140 off 141 balls, was a stunning display of counter-attacking cricket, while Labuschagne's 64 provided stability. Their partnership and contributions from the lower order solidified Australia's grip on the match. Highlights of Day 2 turning points and key moments. Travis Head's innings was a spectacle of attacking cricket. Whether it was his booming drives against the pacers or his commanding pulls off short deliveries, he left no bowler unscathed. His fearless approach disrupted India's plans and shifted the momentum firmly in Australia's favour. Virat Kohli's edge to the keeper off Scott Boland's probing delivery marked a critical moment in the second innings. His dismissal epitomised India's struggles against disciplined bowling, leaving a gaping hole in their batting lineup. The Australian bowlers were relentless. Pat Cummins and Scott Boland in particular were exceptional, hitting consistent lines and lengths that forced errors. Cummins' ability to extract movement and Boland's knack for exploiting bounce and seam made life miserable for Indian batters. A hopeful turnaround. Why an Indian miracle isn't impossible. India's situation might look grim, but cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties. There are reasons to believe in a potential comeback, even if the odds are stacked against them. India has a rich history of miraculous comebacks in Test cricket. The famous Kolkata Test against Australia in 2001, where VVS Laxman and Rahul Dravid batted India to an improbable victory, serves as a shining example. This team has shown similar grit in the recent past, such as their heroics in the Gabba Test during the 2021 Border Gavaskar series. While the top order has faltered, India's lineup still boasts capable batters like Rishabh Pant and Axar Patel, who can stage a fight back. Pant's aggressive style can turn the tide quickly, while Patel has shown the temperament to build partnerships under pressure. Jasprit Bumrah's ability to create breakthroughs with both the old and new ball makes him a potential game-changer. If the bowlers can restrict Australia in a potential second innings, India could still keep the game alive. Test cricket often throws up surprises. Conditions can change, a batter can find form at the right moment, or a bowler can conjure up a magical spell. India needs one or two individuals to step up and change the game's narrative. For India to avoid the follow-on and force Australia to bat again, they will need to execute a near-flawless plan. First, building partnerships is absolutely key. The remaining batters must adopt a patient approach, focusing on grinding out the runs rather than looking for quick scoring opportunities. This is particularly crucial against the disciplined Australian attack. Second, while defense is crucial, selective aggression can disrupt the rhythm of bowlers. Rishabh Pant's counter-attacking style could unsettle Australia's bowlers and relieve some pressure on the Indian camp. Third, using the tail wisely is important. India's lower order has proven its mettle in the past. Players like Axar Patel and Mohammad Shami must hang in there and add valuable runs to the total. Even 20 to 30 runs from the tail can make a significant difference in the context of the match. Lastly, targeting Australia's weaknesses in a potential second innings is essential. India's bowlers must focus on exploiting any weaknesses in Australia's batting. Early breakthroughs will be essential to keeping the target within reach. What needs to go right for India? For a miracle to unfold, several factors must align perfectly. Resilience from Rishabh Pant. Pant needs to anchor the innings while counter-attacking when opportunities arise. His ability to dominate bowlers could be the turning point India desperately needs. Support from the lower order. Contributions from Axar Patel, Mohammad Siraj, and Jasprit Bumrah will be crucial in extending India's innings and minimizing the deficit. Bowling brilliance. If India can set a target or force Australia to bat again, their bowlers will need to produce a collective masterclass to skittle the hosts for a low score. Fielding excellence. Every run saved in the field will be vital. India cannot afford dropped catches or missed run-out opportunities. The psychological battle. A significant aspect of cricket, especially Test cricket, is the mental game. India must approach day 3 with a clear and positive mindset, focusing on the small battles rather than the daunting task ahead. Believing in their ability to fight back will be key to maintaining morale and composure. Lessons from history. Miracles in Test cricket are rare but not unheard of. India's historic win at the Gabba 2021, where they chased down 328 against Australia, showed the power of belief and teamwork. The famous Headingley Test in 2019, where Ben Stokes single-handedly won the match for England, is another example of what can be achieved when one player steps up in adversity. India can draw inspiration from these instances, reminding themselves that no match is over until the final ball is bowled. Conclusion: a test of character. India's current predicament is a test of their character, skill and resilience. While the odds are heavily stacked against them, the beauty of Test cricket lies in its unpredictability. A couple of inspired performances, a moment of brilliance, or a stroke of luck could change the game's complexion. As the players step onto the field for day 3, they carry the hopes of a billion fans. The road ahead is steep, but miracles often unfold when least expected. For India, the task is clear: fight tooth and nail, seize every opportunity, and keep the dream of a comeback alive. With this mindset, Indian cricket has often achieved the impossible. Can they do it again? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: cricket fans worldwide will be watching, hoping, and believing in the possibility of another historic chapter in the annals of Test cricket. In the grand theatre of Test cricket, there are innings that define not just the course of a match, but leave an indelible mark on its narrative. Travis Head's spectacular 140 off 141 balls in the ongoing Test against India is one such innings, a whirlwind of dominance and intent that turned the tide squarely in Australia's favour. His performance exemplifies the impact a single player can have when skill, strategy and audacity combine seamlessly. Heading into the second Test, Australia was under pressure. A comprehensive defeat in the first test had raised questions about their batting fragility and ability to handle India's potent attack. When Head walked in, Australia was far from commanding the game. Positioned at a delicate 91 for 2, the situation required a partnership and a batter willing to dictate terms against a confident Indian bowling lineup. Enter Travis Head, a player known for his aggressive approach and ability to counterpunch under pressure. From the moment Head took guard, he exuded intent. He was not content to merely survive, he sought to dominate. The brilliance of his innings lay not just in its pace but in its adaptability. Against Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj, who were extracting movement and bounce, Head countered with assertive stroke play, placing the onus back on the bowlers. Key aspects of Head's knock 1. Counter-attack against spin. Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja have been tormentors of left-handers in recent years, yet Head neutralized their threat with aggressive intent, skipping down the track to loft Ashwin over the boundary or employing the sweep with precision. He forced India to alter their plans. 2. Strike rotation and big shots. Head's innings was a perfect blend of control and audacity. His ability to pierce gaps for singles and doubles kept the scoreboard ticking, while his penchant for boundary hitting ensured India's bowlers never settled. The 17 fours and 4 sixes in his innings were not reckless. Each was calculated, exploiting field placements and over-pitched deliveries. 3. Partnership with Marnus Labuschagne. Head's partnership with Labuschagne was pivotal. While Labuschagne anchored the innings with his measured approach, Head's attacking play ensured Australia did not stagnate. This partnership set the platform for Australia's first innings dominance, demoralising India's bowlers. 4. Decisiveness against the new ball. As India took the second new ball, hopes of a breakthrough loomed large. However, Head shifted gears, attacking with ferocity and clarity. His ability to score rapidly during this phase widened the gap between the teams, leaving India playing catch-up. What made Head's innings truly remarkable was its psychological impact. By attacking relentlessly, he wrested control from India. The sight of a batter confidently lofting Bumrah and pulling Siraj for sixes must have dented the bowler's confidence and created an aura of invincibility around Head. For India, every missed opportunity, a misfield, a dropped catch, was magnified under the pressure Head applied. His verbal exchange with Siraj, followed by the crowd's reaction, encapsulated the aura he had created. It wasn't just runs on the board, it was a statement of intent that resonated through the Australian dressing room. When Travis Head departed, bowled by Siraj after a valiant 140, Australia had surged to a position of dominance. The lead of 157 runs that Australia eventually mustered owed much to Head's innings. It not only set up a formidable first innings total, but also ensured Australia had momentum heading into the next phase. From a team perspective, his innings allowed the bowlers to attack with confidence, knowing they had runs to defend. For India, chasing down the lead or even making Australia bat again became an uphill task, a direct consequence of Head's brilliance. Head's ability to handle pace and spin alike showcased a solid technique combined with fearless execution. Against pacers, his back foot play stood out, cutting and pulling with aplomb. Against spinners, his use of the crease, both forward and back, allowed him to manipulate field placements effectively. Coming into this test, Head faced scrutiny for inconsistent performances. His ability to respond to pressure, not just with runs but with commanding runs, speaks volumes about his mental toughness. He turned adversity into an opportunity, playing what might be remembered as one of his defining innings in international cricket. Head's innings might be a turning point in the series. If Australia wins this test, his knock will be cited as the decisive factor that pulled the hosts from a position of parity to one of control. While Pat Cummins is the official captain, Head's innings was a leadership effort in its own right. It inspired his teammates, set an example for counter-attacking cricket, and provided the perfect blueprint for batting under pressure. The knock reaffirms Australia's depth and resilience. Having been battered in the first test, a commanding performance like this, led by Head, is a timely reminder of the team's ability to bounce back. Travis Head's 140 wasn't just a personal triumph, it was a team-defining effort. It altered the course of this test match, possibly the series, and underscored his value to Australian cricket. Beyond the runs, it was a lesson in how to seize the moment and dictate terms in a game that often rewards those who dare. For Indian fans, Head's innings is a reminder of how quickly a game can change in Test cricket. For cricket enthusiasts, it's a knock to savour, a blend of aggression, skill and sheer willpower that left an indelible mark on this Test match.
Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, two stalwarts of Indian cricket, are currently facing a tough phase in their Test careers. Rohit's recent performance against New Zealand was disappointing, with just 91 runs in 3 matches, averaging a mere 18.2. Kohli wasn't far behind, scoring 93 runs at an average of 18.6 and slipping to 22nd in the ICC rankings, his lowest since 2014. What's causing these struggles? Both players are grappling with technical issues against quality bowling, compounded by mental fatigue from relentless cricket. As they age, the physical demands only add to their challenges. Should they be dropped? It's a complex decision. Their experience is invaluable, especially in high-pressure series. Plus, their leadership on and off the field offers guidance to younger players. Remember, both have bounced back from slumps before. While their current form raises eyebrows, it's crucial to support them through this rough patch. Prematurely sidelining them could disrupt team dynamics and overlook their immense contributions to Indian cricket.
Opening day of the second test between India and Australia at the Adelaide Oval was a showcase of the quirks and challenges of pink ball cricket. Mitchell Starc's brilliance and Australia's cohesive bowling attack restricted India to a modest total of 180. Yet amidst the chaos, counter-attacks from Nitish Kumar Reddy and Ravichandran Ashwin gave India a fighting chance. As they look to repeat their Perth heroics by dismissing Australia cheaply, the game remains delicately poised. Mitchell Starc was at his devastating best, swinging the pink ball prodigiously and troubling every Indian batter. His figures of 5 for 53 were the highlight of the day, cementing his reputation as the greatest pink ball bowler in Test cricket. The perfect start. Starc struck on the first delivery of the match, trapping Yashasvi Jaiswal LBW for a golden duck. The delivery, full and swinging in, was too good for the young opener, setting the tone for a dominant spell. Relentless middle-order pressure, Starc returned to remove Virat Kohli, who was shaping up for a counter-attack. Kohli's attempted drive at a full-length delivery resulted in a sharp-edged Smith at second slip. Lower-order cleanup. Starc's precision and aggression shone as he dismissed Nitish Kumar Reddy, Ravichandran Ashwin and Harshit Rana. His ability to mix lengths and maintain accuracy under lights was the undoing of India's resistance. Yashasvi Jaiswal, 0 off 1, LBWB Starc. Jaiswal's dismissal on the very first ball was a blow to India's plans. Starc's late in-swinger struck him on the pads, leaving no room for survival. The opener's lack of experience against such skillful bowling was evident. KL Rahul, 37 off 64, C. McSweeney B. Starc. Rahul looked the most assured among India's batters, finding boundaries regularly and showing intent. However, just as he appeared set for a big score, Starc's bouncer forced him into an ill-judged pull shot, caught expertly by McSweeney at fine leg. Shubman Gill, 31 off 51, LBWB Boland. Gill's crisp stroke play, including 5 boundaries, offered hope for India. However, Boland's sharp delivery, nipping back into the batter, trapped him LBW, as Gill failed to account for the late movement. His promising knock ended prematurely, leaving India at 74 for 3. Virat Kohli, 7 off 8, C. Smith B. Starc. Kohli, who has a history of dominating at Adelaide, was undone by Starc's genius. The delivery angled in before straightening, catching Kohli's edge as he attempted an expansive drive. Smith completed a sharp catch at second slip, sending shockwaves through the Indian camp. Rishabh Pant, 21 off 35, C. Labuschagne B. Cummins. Pant showed glimpses of counter-attacking flair, driving and cutting with confidence. However, Cummins's short ball strategy worked to perfection as Pant mistimed a pull, with Labuschagne making an easy catch at mid-wicket. Pant's dismissal at 128 for 5 left India in dire straits. Rohit Sharma, 3 off 23, LBW by Boland. The skipper never looked comfortable during his stay at the crease. Boland's persistence with good lengths paid off as Rohit was trapped LBW, beaten by pace and movement. His dismissal at 74 for 4 was a significant setback. Nitish Kumar Reddy, 42 off 54, caught head, bowled Stark. Debutant Nitish Kumar Reddy played the innings of the day for India. With 3 sixes and 3 boundaries, his counter-attacking knock pushed India closer to a respectable total. He lofted Lyon and Stark with confidence but eventually perished trying to clear mid-off, gifting Stark his 4th wicket. Ravichandran Ashwin, 22 off 22, LBW by Stark. Ashwin's brisk innings included 3 elegant boundaries. He rotated the strike well with Reddy, frustrating the Australian bowlers briefly. However, Stark's pinpoint Yorker trapped him LBW, ending his resistance. The tail offered little resistance as Stark and Cummins cleaned up efficiently. Harshit Rana, 0 off 3, bowled by Stark. The young debutant had no answer to Stark's in-swinging Yorker, which uprooted his stumps. Jasprit Bumrah, 0 off 8, caught Khawaja, bowled Cummins. Attempting a defensive prod, Bumrah edged Cummins to slip, giving Australia the final wicket. Mohammad Siraj, 4 not out of 3. Siraj hit a boundary but was left stranded as India folded for 180. The Australians hunted as a pack, combining aggression with precision. Mitchell Stark. His ability to exploit the pink ball's swing made him the standout performer. Scott Boland's control and late movement accounted for Gill and Rohit, breaking India's partnerships at critical moments. Pat Cummins, the skipper's tactical use of short-pitch deliveries reaped rewards, particularly against Pant and Bumrah. While India's total of 180 seems underwhelming, their recent experience in Perth, where they bowled Australia out for a low score, provides hope. Bumrah and Siraj's role. The pace duo will look to exploit the twilight phase, using the pink ball's exaggerated movement to trouble Australia's top order. Ashwin's variations, with bounce and turn available on the Adelaide pitch, Ashwin's guile could prove decisive against Labuschagne and Smith. The twilight factor. The pink ball's tendency to swing more under lights gives India an opening. A disciplined bowling effort could tilt the game back in their favour. Day 1 at Adelaide showcased Australia's dominance with the ball, led by Stark's brilliance. For India, individual performances from Rahul, Reddy and Ashwin offered glimpses of resilience, but the collective effort fell short. As the bowlers prepare to take centre stage, the match hangs in the balance, with India needing a near-perfect display to regain control. The second day promises to be pivotal. Will India's bowlers engineer another remarkable collapse? Or will Australia consolidate their lead? Only time will tell. Time will.
Like ocean's tide, every swing of hope sweet shakes, victory shines on every face. Reminding a rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams through dynamite. Feel the blaze and glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirit proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided swinging beams, pure dynamite. Feel the blaze and glory's flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner arch of our India rising high. Underneath the painted line, with every chant the spirits soar, cricketing hearts forevermore.
Adelaide Test Preview. Can India extend their dominance, or will Australia mount a comeback? The Border Gavaskar Trophy 2024 moves to Adelaide for the second test, bringing fresh challenges and intrigue to an already riveting series. India's commanding 295-run victory in Perth has given them an early 1-0 lead, but the pink ball day-night test at the Adelaide Oval offers a completely different dynamic. This match is shaping up to be a battle of resilience, adaptability, and tactical brilliance. For India, it's about maintaining their momentum, while Australia is desperate to bounce back and avoid falling further behind in the series. Adding to the excitement is the return of key players like Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Mohammad Shami, and Ravindra Jadeja, all of whom present fascinating selection dilemmas for India. Let's delve into the key narratives, team dynamics, and what's at stake in this critical encounter. 1. The return of Rohit Sharma. A welcome boost. The return of Rohit Sharma, India's regular captain and a proven performer in challenging conditions, is a significant development. Sharma's experience, leadership, and ability to anchor innings will provide a steadying influence at the top of the order. Key questions. Who opens with Rohit? Does India stick with Yashasvi Jaiswal, whose stunning 161 in Perth was pivotal, or bring in the talented Shubman Gill? Alternatively, do they retain KL Rahul, who played a gritty 57 in the first test? What about the batting order? Moving Jaiswal to no 3 to accommodate Gill as an opener could disrupt the balance of the league, particularly with Kohli entrenched at no 4. Expert insight. Rohit's presence could help stabilize the batting order, especially during the twilight period when the pink ball swings more. His ability to play late and adapt to conditions will be crucial in combating Australia's attack under lights. 2. The pink ball factor. A tactical challenge. The pink ball, with its tendency to swing prodigiously under lights, introduces a unique set of challenges. Teams that fail to manage the twilight period often find themselves at a significant disadvantage. India's advantage: a lethal pace attack. India's pace trio of Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, and potentially Mohammad Shami is perfectly suited to exploit pink ball conditions. Bumrah's pinpoint yorkers, Siraj's ability to extract bounce, and Shami's seam movement make for a formidable combination. Key decision: if Shami returns, Harshit Rana may have to make way despite his spirited performance in Perth. Australia's familiarity with pink ball. Australia has a strong record in day-night tests, largely thanks to Mitchell Starc, whose mastery of the pink ball under lights has been unmatched. Starc, along with Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood, will aim to exploit any weaknesses in India's batting lineup. Expert insight. The team that adapts better to the twilight conditions and manages the pink ball swing will likely dictate the match. India must focus on building partnerships during these challenging periods, while Australia's bowlers must strike early to regain momentum. 3. The selection dilemmas. Bench strength versus consistency. For India, the return of key players like Rohit, Shami, and Jadeja poses exciting selection dilemmas. Should India tweak a winning combination or rely on their proven performers to consolidate their lead? Batting choices. Retaining Jaiswal and Rahul while including Gill could unsettle the lineup. Alternatively, India may stick with Jaiswal and Rahul at the top, leaving Gill on the bench. Spin department. Washington Sundar was effective in Perth, but Jadeja's experience and all-round ability could make him a game-changer in Adelaide. For Australia, Australia must address their fragile batting lineup, with Marnus Labuschagne, Stephen Smith, and Usman Khawaja under scrutiny. Their bowlers, though talented, struggled for consistency in Perth, and the team might consider additional spin support for Nathan Lyon. Expert insight. While continuity breeds confidence, India's depth allows them to make bold changes without weakening the side. Australia, on the other hand, needs to back their experienced players while addressing their tactical flaws. 4. Leadership and mental fortitude. India's captaincy advantage. Jasprit Bumrah's leadership was a revelation in Perth. His attacking mindset, smart bowling changes, and ability to lead by example were critical in India's victory. The return of Rohit Sharma adds another layer of experience to the leadership group. Australia's response. Pat Cummins faces the challenge of rallying his team after a demoralizing defeat. His dual role as captain and strike bowler is taxing, and Australia's response will depend heavily on how well he manages his resources. Expert insight. Leadership under pressure often defines key moments in a series. Bumrah and Rohit's tactical acumen could tilt the scales in India's favour, but Cummins' ability to inspire his team will be equally critical. 5. The twilight period. Where matches are won or lost, the period before and after the floodlights take full effect is notoriously tricky in day-night tests. Batsmen struggle with visibility, and bowlers often extract extraordinary movement. India's focus. Patience and partnerships. India must prioritize partnerships during this phase, with experienced players like Kohli and Rohit guiding younger batters through the challenges. Australia's opportunity. Exploiting the swing, Australia's bowlers, particularly Stark, will look to maximize the pink ball's movement during twilight. Breaking India's partnerships early will be crucial to their success. Expert insight. Adapting to twilight conditions requires discipline and flexibility. India's ability to manage these phases in Perth suggests they are well prepared, but Australia's familiarity with the pink ball gives them a slight edge in this aspect. 6. What's at stake? A defining test for both teams. For India, a win in Adelaide would put India in an unassailable position, with a 2-0 lead in the series and momentum firmly on their side. It would also cement their reputation as one of the best touring sides in cricket history. For Australia, this test is a must-win for Australia. Falling 2-0 behind in a 5-match series would be catastrophic, especially on home soil. A strong performance in Adelaide is essential to restore their confidence and level the series. Expert insight. The psychological stakes are as high as the tactical ones. India's ability to maintain their intensity and Australia's resilience under pressure will define the match. 7. Players to watch. The key influencers. India. Rohit Sharma. His return adds stability and experience to India's batting lineup. Jasprit Bumrah. The captain will look to replicate his Perth heroics under the lights. Yashasvi Jaiswal. All eyes will be on the young star to see if he can build on his impressive start. Australia. Stephen Smith. A player of Smith's caliber is expected to bounce back after a poor start. Mitchell Stark. The pink ball specialist will lead Australia's charge in Adelaide. Travis Head. His counter-attacking 89 in Perth was a rare bright spot for Australia. 8. Final thoughts. The stage is set. The Adelaide Test is more than just the second chapter of the Border Gavaskar Trophy. It's a litmus test for both teams. India will look to extend their dominance, while Australia is desperate to level the series and avoid a deeper crisis. As fans, we're in for a thrilling spectacle under the lights. Can India's momentum carry them to another historic win, or will Australia rise to the occasion? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more expert analysis and updates from this epic series.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shala India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirit soars, creating hearts forevermore. Swinging beams, pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame. Every playing of a name. Unity in every crowd. Voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark. Guided by that inner eye. India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hopes we chase, victory shines on every face. Shala India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night. Swinging beams, pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glory's flame. Every playing of a name. Unity in every crowd. Voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark. Guided by that inner eye. India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Unity in every crowd. Voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark. Guided by that inner arc. Shala India rising high underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore.
The most important lessons from India's commanding victory at Perth. Welcome back for another episode in our podcast. We are still on an adrenaline high from the Perth Test match. To be honest, we had a few cold ones and cherished having an extra day off. Thanks, Aussies. Now into the business at hand. India's emphatic 295-run win over Australia in the opening test of the Border Gavaskar Trophy (BGT) 2024 has left cricketing pundits and fans buzzing. This match, played at Perth Stadium, long considered a fortress for the hosts, not only showcased India's exceptional cricketing prowess, but also delivered valuable lessons for both teams as they look ahead to the remaining 4 tests. Let's explore the key takeaways from this historic victory and what they mean for the rest of the series. 1. Adaptability. India's key to success. One of the standout features of India's victory was their ability to adapt to challenging conditions. The pitch at Perth, renowned for its bounce and pace, initially seemed tailored for Australia's fast bowling attack. However, India turned the tables through meticulous planning and execution. Adapting to conditions. Despite being bowled out for just 150 in the first innings, India recalibrated their approach. Yashasvi Jaiswal led the way in the second innings with a stunning 161, proving that patience and shot selection were crucial on a pitch with variable bounce. India's bowlers, especially Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj, exploited the conditions brilliantly, utilizing short pitch deliveries and angling the ball to trouble Australian batters. Lesson. Flexibility in strategy and a willingness to learn from the first innings paid off for India. This adaptability will be key in the upcoming tests, particularly in Adelaide's day-night format. 2. Resilience under pressure. India's victory highlighted the importance of mental toughness and resilience. After being bundled out for 150 in the first innings, the team could have easily succumbed to the pressure. Instead, they mounted a remarkable comeback. Turning points. Bumrah's fiery 5 for 30 in Australia's first innings restricted the hosts to a paltry 104, ensuring that India remained in the game despite their batting struggles. Kohli's composed 100 not out in the second innings provided the stability needed to set a mammoth target. Lesson. Resilience in moments of adversity can shift the momentum of a match. This mental strength will serve India well in the high-stakes environment of the BGT. 3. Leadership and tactical brilliance. Jasprit Bumrah's captaincy was a revelation. Leading a team without regular captain Rohit Sharma and injured batter Shubman Gill, Bumrah's calm demeanor and sharp tactical acumen played a pivotal role in India's win. Key tactical moves. Bumrah's decision to attack Australia's fragile top order late on day 3 with short pitch deliveries was a masterstroke. His spell of 3 for 42 in the second innings broke the back of Australia's batting lineup. Rotating the bowlers effectively ensured that pressure was maintained throughout both innings. Lesson. Good leadership is about making bold decisions at critical moments. Bumrah's ability to inspire his team and lead by example will be crucial as the series progresses. 4. The rise of young talent. The performances of Yashasvi Jaiswal and Nitish Kumar Reddy were standout moments in the test. Both players showed maturity beyond their years, stepping up when the team needed them most. Yashasvi Jaiswal. Jaiswal's 161 in the second innings was a masterclass in test batting, combining patience with calculated aggression. His ability to dominate the Australian pace attack showed that he is ready to fill the shoes of seasoned players. Nitish Kumar Reddy. On debut, Reddy's all-round contributions, including a vital wicket and some sharp fielding, added to India's momentum. Lesson. Backing young talent and giving them responsibility pays off. India's bench strength, built over years, is now a formidable asset. 5. Australia's vulnerabilities exposed. For Australia, this loss exposed several weaknesses that will need to be addressed before the second test. Top order fragility. Marnus Labuschagne and Usman Khawaja managed just 5 and 4 runs, respectively, across 2 innings, putting immense pressure on the middle order. Stephen Smith's technical adjustments weren't enough to counter Bumrah and Siraj, as he fell cheaply in both innings. Bowling fatigue. Pat Cummins, the Australian captain, struggled with the red ball after a long layoff, finishing with figures of 3 for 153. His over-reliance on short-pitch deliveries backfired as India capitalized in their second innings. Lesson. Australia needs better preparation and more consistency in their batting and bowling efforts if they hope to bounce back in Adelaide. 6. Fielding wins matches. India's sharp fielding was a game-changer, with key catches and run-saving stops ensuring that Australia couldn't build partnerships. Jurel's reflex catch to dismiss Mitchell Starc was a standout moment. Lesson. In Test cricket, small moments often decide big matches. Fielding excellence can be the difference between winning and losing. in the second innings. This massive that